Ladies and gentlemen, this week on Game Chat, we welcome none other than one of the few professional golfers in the directory. You'll find him streaming near 5 nights a week sometimes, playing PGA Tour 2K23. He plays a variety of different games. We'll touch base on those. But more importantly, he's giving out free golf lessons. He's doing it all. Maybe even some IRL streams. But we have Mr. Progressive Golf in the house. Progressive Kyle Schulte, by the way. Kyle, welcome in.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here. We appreciate the invite, guys. I know we were going to try to get this before Hurricane Ian, but yeah, you know how that happens. I really appreciate the intro. That's awesome. I am a professional golfer. I do stream a whole lot, both IRL golf streams and a lot of 2K23. It's a ton of fun. We have the best community on Twitch.
We certainly do, and your presence was definitely like fast and furious when it came about a year ago at this point, maybe a little longer.
Yeah, about a year and 3 or 4 months now is when I picked up streaming and really got onto Twitch.
I guess before we even get into gaming, when did you first, because you are a plus handicap, +3 or something like that at the moment, or?
Yeah, I think a +3 at the moment of recording.
Which is, yeah, says a lot, but I mean, fantastic golfer. You've shown it in your IRL streams. What age did you start golfing? What does your IRL golf history look like?
So grew up playing a lot of baseball in Tennessee is where I was born. I moved to Florida when I was like 12 or 13. And when I got into high school, I picked up golf. I hurt myself playing baseball. And my dad was like, hey, man, why don't you try this game out? Probably not going to get as hurt. And yeah, when I tried it, fell in love with it. I was like 12, 13 years old. It's like my 8th grade year going into high school, I should say. And during high school, I got hurt playing junior varsity baseball. And yeah, kind of just hard committed to golf, man.
I didn't realize you were from Tennessee. Is the checkered background for Tennessee? Are you a Vols fan? I know it's not orange, but
I am a Vols fan, indeed. My father's Ohio State alum, but you know, I'm from Tennessee. I do love it. The orange is beautiful.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. It's a shame how their season got a little derailed this year, but cool to hear that. You know, so golf has been a big part of your background. Oh, now, just to kind of parlay off that, what was your first time going under par? Do you remember that? I would assume you would.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My first time under par, I was like 14 years old. I was playing with my dad at Coral Oaks Golf Course in Cape Coral, Florida. I had shot. Well, it was funny. The golf course was going over some extreme renovations, and they had temporary tee boxes that were like way forward, right? But they didn't change the scorecard, so all the pars were the same. So from like 5,900 yards, I shot 70, and you know, my dad still beat my butt, but it was my first time getting under par, and now I'll always.
Your dad beat you, and you shot 70?
Smoked me.
Well, I guess because it was 5,900, and he's a really good scratch golfer himself, or something.
He is a stick. Yeah, he's a stick. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So you do have one of the most unique features of Twitch in the fact that you are Kyle Schulte, a PGA professional, and if you put your swings into the Discord, you give free lessons. Like, it's so ingrained in my mind from being in the channel to have that memorized.
And I love hearing other people say it when I go on their channels, and I like, you know, we have the best community on Twitch. And, you know, I say something on someone's channel, they give me a shout out, and then they do my spiel. Oh my god, it makes me just so happy, man.
It's perfect, but how, I mean, it's a true passion for you to be able to give those for free. So how much time do you really spend on giving those breakdowns?
As much as needed, really. It is the purpose of me being on Twitch. It is my passion. I love teaching golf, and I teach a lot of golf in real life, but I hate that I have to charge $100 an hour to do it. That really sucks. It's unaffordable, especially for anybody my age or maybe even younger that's not very well off. And when I'm on Twitch, I can do it. And if people find it's valuable, they can subscribe for $5 a month, and they can afford that, and a lot of people can afford that. And if they find value in my lessons, to me, it's just a way for me to transition off an $80, $100 an hour thing in person all the time, and a great way to just reach more people. And again, if they find value, they can subscribe. It's not even like it's just the way the transaction works out. I love it. Like you said, you've been in there. People submit their swing videos. If I help them and they find it valuable, which is a lot of times, almost 90% of the time, they will end up subscribing. And I like the way that transaction works, where I'm providing value and entertainment because it's Twitch, but I provided something very valuable, and I feel like I'm really earning that $5 a month, and it feels a whole lot better than charging $80 an hour.
You've helped me on 2 separate swing videos. One that, wasn't exactly
It's all in the hips, baby.
I was gonna say that was a wedge, but let me tell you, when I sent you the driver clip of an actual thing of you saying straighten up, it helped me control a lot. And so for someone that only gets out 2-3 times, it was very helpful.
Yeah, I mean, golf is so hard because it can be so misleading. That ball can do so many different things, and a lot of times, we can get lucky and hit it good, and that might make you think you're doing something right. And it can be vice versa, where you can be doing the right thing and not seeing results in the golf ball, and that can be so frustrating. But again, when people commit to the process, I'm only going to help anybody.
And I think one thing off of that, speaking from personal experience on it, you've looked at my swing before, but what I've found, honestly, maybe you don't, or maybe you do realize, I found most beneficial is just hearing your advice, listening in chats, and like you'll be commenting on Sweet Billy Boy's swing or somebody's swing, and it's like, wow, he has a really nice swing, and like, oh, you're telling him to do this specific drill, and it's like, you know what? I can see that, and it's like just watching that. It's like watching a golf lesson online for a specific task, and you know exactly what Billy's doing, and it's like, oh well, I kind of do that sometimes too, and I wonder if I do that. And like, just not even saying a single thing in your chat, watching what you're doing and showing Billy, or I am using him as an example just because I remember watching his videos about
and his swing
30 to 40. Yeah, his swing is sweet.
It's fun to watch him swing.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, well now he's doing this drill, and you're perfecting his swing from where he was like a 12 handicap to wherever he's going now. And then you see someone come in and they're a 25 handicap or something like that, and you see this fatal flaw, and it's very helpful for me to realize what the drill is to correct that type of thing. So just wanted to say thank you, and just on that. And as a casual viewer, out there, if you're interested in just watching progressive golf, you don't even have to say a single thing in his chat. I guarantee you're going to pick up some knowledge just by being an innocent bystander of watching these videos.
I really appreciate you saying that. That was like one of the the core tenets that I writ down when I was preparing the whole stream thing. Was like, well, I have a lot of experience in group lessons. I teach a lot of clinics and stuff like that, and I find the clinics to be so valuable. People retain the information better, all these different things, because of the community aspect of it. We're learning as a group, and like you said, whether you're participating in the comments or whatever, it really doesn't matter. You're engaged, and as long as you're engaged, you're going to learn something. And that's something that I know happens. It's something that I try to make happen. Again, the question, how long do we spend per swing? I understand there's people watching, and I have to spend enough time to make sure everything I'm saying is understandable, that people can understand the science, and because when you understand these things, it's so much easier to do it.
And you put it in layman's terms too really well, for like a casual person to pick up.
Thank you.
I need to know more about the stream setup, because you have one of the sickest rooms that we have, and you've got the professional green screen. I just noticed the shot clock for the first time in a year, which
thank you.
Shame on me. But has it always been about eventually becoming a streamer, doing YouTube help videos? What was kind of the idea in the setup?
So, around COVID, when COVID originally happened and it hit in the United States, it really affected me and the club I was at like drastically. I got my hours cut. They really screwed me. I wasn't collecting on it. They just really screwed me, and I wasn't getting to play a lot of golf at that time. I had saved up a bunch of money, and I was enjoying watching a lot of content creators on YouTube, Rick Shields, Good, stuff like that. I knew what Twitch was because I play a lot of video games, and I know there wasn't anybody doing that kind of thing on Twitch. So I took every dollar I had, and I bought this setup. But both my parents had cancer at that time, so I was able to quit my job. My dad let me live with him pretty much rent free, and let me start this and do this very seriously. It was an unfortunate situation that a lot of things actually worked out well. Both my parents are fine, by the way. They both beat their thing.
Hell yeah.
And again, in that year, I was in my dad's house. Again, the studio has changed a few times, but in that first year, I was able to spend all my money and really get something going on Twitch. And the professional setup was something that I felt was gonna help legitimize me as a PGA professional, make people not question the fact that I'm a PGA professional. You can see in the background, I live and breathe golf. Man, I wake up, I do this in real life all day, and I come home and I do it on video games all night. And I just really wanted my studio to speak to that. I wanted my space to speak to that. And yeah, I love it too. I love when people comment on it. It's always a great thing when somebody says, hey man, like that's awesome. The way we pull, like you said about the green screen, we pull up the green screen and we transition scenes. I'm really proud of the way this stuff looks and feels. I like to think of myself as the golf channel of Twitch.
You do a damn good job of it too. Now, I mean, there's not many people that have the cojones to, go all in, like you said, take all your money, go in. Was there ever a consider for a, and I commend you for it, that takes, it takes a lot. I can only imagine.
Like I said, the stars aligned for it. My father wasn't willing to not charge me anything to live with him, and just kind of caretake when I was available and stuff like that. And he paid for my food and board basically. And I'm so awesome. I'm 27 years old. He hasn't done that for me in 10 years. But he understands. He liked the idea I had. He knows how passionate I'm about golf. He thought it was a great idea. So honestly, it couldn't have happened without him. And now I'm in a situation where I'm living with my brother, and it's very similar. I'm only working part-time at a golf course while I continue to try to rebuild my stream and get this up to a place where I can go get a place with my partner. And but we're getting there. It's long, it's hard, it's difficult, but that's life for everybody, man.
Now, was there, kind of to parlay off that, I feel like I know the answer to this question, was there ever even a consideration for a career outside of golf? It seems like you've been all in on golf for some time now.
Yeah, man. When I was in high school and I switched from baseball to golf, I was pretty much convinced I was going to do this for a living. When I played college golf at the University of Arkansas, Fort Smith, I was a history major. I thought I was going to be going right on the PGA Tour. We all do. Obviously, I didn't. And I had to ask myself after 2 years of playing university college golf, do I want to play this game in the future? Do I want this to stay a part of my life? And I'm passionate about history, and I'm passionate about teaching, and I was going to be a history teacher, but I was really worried that I wasn't going to get to play a lot of golf. And that's when I decided I was going to transfer to Florida Gulf Coast University, become a PGA professional, and find a way to make a living with this game that doesn't involve me being in an office for 50 to 70 hours a week.
I think that's great. And I think one of the things you've done with the community, with, the golf game, Now, you are a traitor for leaving PC. Not that I'll hold that against you for a long time, but revitalizing the Saturday night divot derbies.
I love it, man. We're having so much fun when the servers were working for a while. Once we started catching wind of 2K23, by the way, those servers tanked. Everything tanked in 2K21. Once we caught the rumors of 2K23, the Divot Derby is so much fun. It's probably my favorite game mode in the game.
Are we still looking to keep that going into the future?
I am. I'm looking to expand on it a little bit too. I have a Topgolf near me, and I know Topgolf's in the new game. I want to be able to challenge people in my real life golfer against your virtual golfer on Saturday nights at Topgolf, along with Divot Derbies. I just bought, so as soon as I get a couple more bucks, man, I'm gonna be going and getting me 2K23 on PC, and we're gonna be returning to some Divot Derby Saturday nights as well. I'm probably just gonna play as like Steph Curry or Michael Jordan though, because I am competitively on PS4. If you're familiar with the game, you know you got to do some grinding, which by the way I love. I love the way the club fitting system works. Oh, so good, so much more realistic. So I'm gonna be sticking on PS5 for the competitive play in TGC, but PC gaming is coming because Saturday Night Divot Derby is kind of where that belongs until we get crossplay.
I'm going to bleep out the engagement ring just to let people stew on what you bought for a little bit, but then I'm not going to bleep this out. Or, sorry, Coral. Coral's going to work on the bleeping. So people are going to be like, what the hell did he buy?
Yeah. It's going down, man. It's actually going down.
It's exciting. Good.
It is.
So I'll stay. Just one last question on the real life golf before we keep going down the video game rabbit hole. So you're obviously competing on PS5 now. When was the last competition that you had IRL? And like, you know, I think you mentioned a couple times you still do compete kind of occasionally, right? And is there like any big thing that you're leading up to in the near future?
I do. So for the last year or two now, as I'm getting back into the game of golf, when I was caretaking for my father and really kicking off the stream, I wasn't playing a lot of golf. Now that I'm working at a club again, I'm starting to play a lot. I play in a lot of my PGA section events. For anybody that's curious, that's South Florida PGA section. You can find all of our stats and stuff. Florida Blue Golf. I'm going to be playing in those for a while until I start to feel really confident in my game. If I can win a couple of those with my local pros in the area, I'll probably start playing in some West Florida tours or some mini tours and maybe try to get on some bigger things. But you know, honestly, at 28 years old now, my PGA Tour dreams are starting to kind of close down. I'm understanding that I'm getting to be 30, and I'm a small guy, and man, these kids they hit the ball a long way. I teach them how to hit it long, and I don't think I can compete.
At the same time, though, I'm sure it would be like kind of cool, like if you could even get into like a Corn Ferry event or something. So, is there like a Monday queue that you can win or something and get in?
Through the PGA section stuff, if I win my Player of the Year and I win the section champion and stuff, I can actually play in the PGA Championship. There are a few qualifiers through my PGA section stuff, and I will always maintain the goal of I want to play in a PGA Tour event. I do think that's very possible. But when you're talking about getting a PGA Tour card, man, it's a huge financial endeavor, and I'm starting to think about a family now. And again, at the takeoff time, the work, it's starting to actually feel unrealistic to me. And I probably wouldn't have said that a month ago. Probably would have told you I'm still wanting to make it on the PGA Tour, but you know, I'm getting older. I'm starting to find my place in life, and I love it. You know, my dream has always been to play golf in front of people and make a living doing it. And on Twitch, man, it might be virtual golf, but I love it. You know, what we do on TGC, it gives me the same feeling of being in a tournament. I get nervous, my hands are still sweating, I'm shaking over putts, and I feel like I want to run myself up a tree when I do something stupid. The feelings are all the same, and it's okay with me. It's enough for me. It really is. I love it.
At the end of the day, you're still in front of people playing golf, and hopefully for a living. You know, like you can be a
living. That's what I'm saying. It's still the dream come true. You know.
You don't have to be on tour. You can be one of those Grant Horvat, good guys, or something like that.
Saying,
you get the Kyle Schulte channel. That's all we need.
You know, I wouldn't I wouldn't be lying if I would be lying if I said I wasn't ambitious. I do have visions of like a YouTube or a content creator tour that just a great bunch of great personalities playing golf competitively on a pretty regular basis. I think that would be really fun to watch. And
those pro-ams are always a blast. Like, you know,
that's what
like
I'm saying, man.
like you always see, everyone wants to see Bill Murray every time, even though he's such a jackass out there doing something. Well, seeing Chris Berman, the greatest.
Oh, dude, some of those Chris Berman clips, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I take it you guys watched Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers a little bit.
Yep.
I am always so impressed when I watch other professional athletes swing a golf club.
Yeah.
You know they don't do a lot, but man, they're just talented.
The Brady hole out where he spun it back in, that was something special.
Man. I'm telling you, it's always fun to watch it.
The hockey players do it better.
Hockey players, they hit the shit out of it. Yeah, they do. Pardon my language.
Oh, you're allowed. You could swear. You could do shit, balls, whatever. We're cool with that.
Nice.
So I know you said the window's closing, but let's say next year, 2023, I'm going to give you two options. You have to pick one. Otherwise, I'll hit you with a hockey stick. All right? You get to qualify. You don't know what you're going to do, but you get your PGA Tour championship shot. Or you get partnered on Twitch. Which one do you want more?
You know, I'll take that shot on the tour. For sure. It's still just something, even if I only get to play once, man, if I can say I did it, I could grind out Twitch partner. Man, we can put in the work for that. If I actually got the opportunity to play in the tour event, I think that's all I need is one. If I had enough time to prepare for it. But yeah, I would.
It would no longer be Kyle Schulte, PGA Professional. It would be Kyle Schulte, PGA Professional, and I played on the PGA Tour Championship once.
So there's actually a classification for PGA Class A's like myself that play on the PGA Tour. I believe it's an A14 is the classification. There's only like 2 or 3 people in the world that have it. And Ian Poulter
sounds like a fighter jet.
Yeah, Ian Poulter was one of them. Ian Poulter started off as a club pro, and one day just hated it, and he grinded it out. He made it, man.
No shit.
Yeah.
So, like, are you the top qualification of club pro? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, in a sense, the club pro stuff, the PGA of America, it is not the same thing as the PGA Tour, but they do recognize each other, and they do lots of events together and stuff like that. So like in my section, I'm very competitive, but we have ex-PGA Tour players in my section. We do have PGA Tour players, current card holding, like European card guys, Japanese tour guys in my section. So when you go and compete in the section stuff, it really does have the feel of being out there. You're not gonna go shoot even par and win any money if you're not 4 or 5 deep. You know, thanks for donating. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. We've talked a good amount about real life, and Bear brought up virtual golf. So I did want to ask, when was your virtual golf career started? Were you way back in like the Mario Golf days on N64? Was it before that, or was it the Tiger Woods, or was it more recent?
So Mario Golf was the only golf that was interesting to me when I was a kid. I thought golf was just really, really dumb until I tried it. So Mario Golf all the way. It was really a ton of fun. I still remember playing games I lived in a cul-de-sac in Tennessee, and there's a lot of kids in the cul-de-sac. We'd all meet at one person's house because he had all the game systems, and Thomas had Mario Golf, and 4 people playing that was a riot, man.
Oh yeah.
As far as PGA Tour games and stuff like that, definitely when I was in high school, I played a couple of the earlier Tiger Woods games. I remember watching my dad play Tiger Woods 09. The one I probably got into and kind of competitive was Rory McIlroy's PGA Tour from EA. I remember getting to a point with that where I was, no matter what difficulty it was, I was gonna shoot eagle or birdie on every single hole.
The daily tournaments.
Yeah.
I love those.
Good time. It was a good time.
Do you foresee playing a lot of the new EA golf game?
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to beat what PGA Tour 2K23 has. As far as that course designer is the ticket. The fact that I can play any golf course that any decent creative person can create, and then there's the rating system. I mean, I feel like EA is gonna try to charge me for every single course as a DLC, and when I could just play a trillion, or literally you can't play enough, all of them, court user generated courses on 2K23, it's gonna really be hard for me to switch. The game play itself, the actual golf in 2K23, especially on the PS5 now with the PS5 controller, it feels and sounds so much better. They can make a comparable game, but if it doesn't have the course designer, there's no point in me trying it.
Right. It's so much like, from your perspective, I would imagine you would prefer the simulation style. Obviously, at the end of the day, you're going to enjoy golf either way, but the more arcadey feel is going to feel less authentic. And
I will say that as I keep getting older, the more arcadey stuff, like I didn't buy the last Mario Golf. I played it, but I didn't buy it. It just doesn't have, yeah, exactly. You're right.
Yeah.
I really do like the sim. I know on 2K23, I turned off the ball tracer just because I don't see it in real life.
Yeah.
So ball tracer is a good place to go for this next one, because Daddy's all about the content, and you started to do the in real life golf streams, and the first one, the first feedback was ball tracer.
Ball tracer.
But the second one, like just like anything you create, the first one, it's always going to be terrible. I go back and look at some of the early videos I did for Bear and Net. They're some of the worst things created, but it's a great starting point because that series continued to evolve.
Yeah.
When does that come back? Because I know Florida, the golf is year round, but I know we're still coming back from the hurricane.
So in the first year of me streaming, man, we did so good. We just grew so big that I was able to do the next step of my plan, which was the IRL golf stream. I was able to get the infrastructure I needed, the equipment I needed to get into the IRL golf streams. I was pretty naive to some things, that being A, how hot it is in Florida, and B, how sensitive equipment is. I love doing the IRL golf streams, but in the summertime, they simply are not feasible. I cannot do them if I do not tee off the first person on the golf course. It's a shame, but everything overheats once that sun is out and beating down. Now that we're in season and I'm starting to try again, I'm learning it's easy. I can do it at any point in time of the day. The equipment never overheats, and it's very feasible again. One thing, I'm a little nervous about playing on camera by myself. There's just so many things going on that I lose how to speak to chat and like how to play any golf, and I feel like I'm embarrassing myself when I do it solo. So I always just try to bring a friend. You guys might be familiar with like Brandon Rice and Tyler Renaud, my assistants at my golf course. They're both fantastic golfers, and they always do the IRL streams with me, and it's always more fun with them.
Say that lefty's got a beautiful swing.
Yeah, they're both really good. But it's so much more fun with somebody else. I just don't like doing them solo. They're just not fun. It's too much of work, and then my golf suffers, and I feel like I'm embarrassing myself.
I'll tell you one thing, even though it was, you were battling with the heat, those routinely, it's 7 a.m. Kyle's playing 9 holes with his buddy, streams, or maybe they were, I don't know if maybe you did some late afternoon ones as well.
We tried to do them the most in the morning, and so we tried for a while there in the summer. I had a good schedule on it. I had a couple of guys showing up every week, and we were getting to do them roughly the same time. I like to do all of my streams off of a schedule. I just feel like it's just people are able to, they just know it better. They know, hey, he's playing at that time. Maybe they can work it into their schedule somehow, and I just feel like it's a way to build a good rapport doing it that way.
Schedule.
When I do it scattered. I do it all scattered.
Key.
Nobody's there. Yeah, schedule's key. That
Coral,
was, again,
put like blinking lights and shit up here. Schedule is key.
Yeah, when I started the whole streaming stuff, I'm sure just like you guys, like, what's the first thing we do is we just do tons and tons of research, watching so much YouTube videos, Gaming Senpai, all those guys, Stream Doctors and stuff, and one of the consistent themes that I heard through all of that was consistency and schedule. If you're consistently doing it at the same time, people are going to just show up eventually, and then they can expect it. That's one of the things that's really hurt my feelings so much with that whole Hurricane Ian thing and being out for so long is I've lost that. I've lost that consistency, that schedule.
Yeah.
I've lost that rapport with the community, and it's something I got to build back up, especially with the IRL golf streams, particularly with the IRL streams.
Anyone that was a big part or follower of your channel completely understands or can sympathize for you on that front.
Amazing how many people reached out. I didn't have internet, electricity, or even cell phone data for like 2 months. When I finally got it all back a couple weeks ago, looking through the Discord messages, the DMs on Twitter, all that stuff, it was an overwhelmingly good, positive feeling. So many people had reached out just to check in, say hi, ask how the golf was going, if I'm even playing any golf. I mean, it was amazing. A huge shout out to Stavino for sending me food when it was like really tough. There was no food on any shelves down here, and homie hit me up, asked what was up, told him I was hungry, and he just straight up sent us food. So big shout out to that guy.
What a legend.
So you're away from the golf game during the release. You come back.
Devastating.
Everybody's hyped up. How nervous were you pushing that go live button the first time?
It was hard, man. It was really hard. I thought, again, even though I got a bunch of messages and people showing me love and stuff, I thought my channel died. I thought all the work I did was done. I had missed the release of the game by such a large margin that anybody that was new that had came in and left, there's no chance of me. I felt absolutely devastated, and I was so nervous to press go live and see A, nobody, and B, play the game like shit, because I didn't get to play it. If you didn't know, 2K23 is online only. I didn't get to play the game at all. I was just really nervous I was going to be shitty. Anybody that new came in was going to think I sucked, and yeah, it was hard. It was really hard. But man, I'll tell you what, I'm so glad I did, because there was an incredible outpour of love. You could literally just feel it. Again, so many people just reached out and stuff after the stream, how happy they were to see me on the directory. Yeah, whether they were in there or not doesn't matter. It was great to be seen again. And yeah,
it's one of those it's one of those crazy feelings that anytime you do have a schedule and you miss one, you miss two, you're out for a month, you're sick, you think no one's gonna show up, and then I completely get, you're like, oh no, I missed this. What I've always said is content wins out. Content will always get the eyes, and that's why we wanted you on before the hurricane, and then it was like, I think he's got bigger issues. So that's why it was like, one of the things was Kyle's back. Like it ain't gonna take long for people to realize what they're missing, and I think you're gonna pick up where you left off. I mean, you're already sandbagging your way up to Kinetic, so
incredibly nice of you to say. It's incredibly nice of you to notice I've made my way into Kinetic. I've put in some serious time into this video game.
Daddy keeps track.
Yeah, this one's a little harder too, isn't it, boys?
For some.
Master settings. Well, I feel like there's some things that are a little more difficult for some of us. But man, it's good, baby. It's good. I love it. I love it. I love it. So freaking happy to be back. So many people again reaching out, saying hi. That's right. And I'm also really happy to see a lot of people that I didn't see streaming for a long time. When I first got into community, it was kind of already the tail end of 2K21. And I had met a couple people, and I never saw them stream again. It's really been cool coming back and seeing these people live and doing great too. And I love that. It makes me really happy. And particularly Dark Snowda. I hadn't seen that. I caught him stream like one 2K21 stream, and it was for like a Bee's Knees match play or something like that. And now he's in plat and he's killing it. I'm literally watching him on the other screen right now. And I love seeing it. I love seeing it.
I'm cutting all of that. Nothing nice about Snowda's allowed.
He's awesome. He's awesome. I'm looking forward to playing some golf with him.
You know, obviously we're talking about other people's channels, but obviously yours as well. So you're coming back, you know, you're trying to establish that schedule again, or a new schedule. What do you have you outlined any main goals for Twitch, for YouTube, for IRL? Like there's a lot to obviously juggle around. Is there any one in particular that's trumping, or is it just really trying to touch base on all of them?
So my very first priority is getting back onto my TGC schedule. Again, TGC is a lot of fun. To me, it's just fun. It's tournament golf. So my very first thing coming back was, all right, I need to be streaming TGC rounds no matter what again, and doing them at around the same time. You know, whether that's finding my routine of a warm-up round or two, and then the TGC round, and what am I doing there? And then my second thing is I got to start getting people to submit swing videos again. I haven't done any coaching on Twitch in 2 months, and it's something that a lot of people have not been dropping since I've been back. I know it's winter for a lot of people, but I know they can get swing videos in their garages and living rooms, and they can do little motions in the bathroom, and you get videos of all that, and I could use all that to make you better at golf. So I gotta get that message back out that we're here to help again. Just because we're playing video game golf doesn't mean I'm not going to help with their IRL stuff. I just got to make that clear again, get back on the TGC schedule. And then my third thing is the IRL golf stuff again. I would like to find a day that I'm working out with my head pro that, like, hey, this is Kyle's tee time. I can bring guests on this and only charge them cart fees, which does play into my real life career. I do have to finagle a lot of like real life business stuff for the golf streaming stuff. But I'm really good at that part of my job, and I'm making it happen pretty quickly. As far as IRL streaming with pros and stuff, I can tell you a nice little hint. In March, I've created a 9-hole skins game that is going to be for pros only. And you guys are going to see a lot of really great personalities and a hell of a lot of good competitive golf for a whole shit ton of money. And we're going to have that consistently at the same time every week with a pretty large group of guys. I'll be probably the only one streaming it when we start. But my head pro is kind of loving what I do as well. So we're going to try to make some really cool stuff happen with IRL golf streams. Kind of already hinted towards, I want to do some stuff with Top Golf and IRL golf with the video game. So that's kind of where my mindset's at right now. You know, I feel like I kind of missed my opportunity to make my push for Twitch partner. I had a lot of momentum going before the hurricane and leading into the game, and I kind of lost it all. So I'm going to put the Twitch partner thing on the back burner, get myself back on schedule, get the content back where it needs to be, up to the quality I like, and start cranking out some YouTube videos again too, because it's been too long since I posted there.
And you were doing some good interviews too. Like I don't know if you would classify them as interviews. I would, like the people at the clubhouse and stuff. We were sitting down, like you know, throw those up there. You know, everything you put out. It has been enjoyable to watch. So
I really appreciate that.
It's very, very noticeable. For someone watching to know how much time and effort you put into the production value, because your mic, your audio and video quality are fantastic for all the IRL stuff. You know, your gimbals and, like, you know, the mics that you have attached, like everything is spot on. So
just keep throwing money at it.
Yeah, that's unfortunately, yeah. But hopefully you have everything you need at this point.
I do. I feel like I got a good baseline. Always, anytime you're doing entertainment stuff, like, you can always upgrade shit. But I think, you know, and any streamer that starts it up, or any YouTuber, like, we all have to figure out what our baseline is. and spending your money efficiently on what matters, and audio quality it's one of the most important things.
Absolutely.
I know for me personally, I can't watch YouTube videos with poor audio. I can't watch streams with bad audio.
That's what I called Snowda out for.
Yeah, it's hard to.
Now that I can listen to them.
Yeah, and it's so much better now we can hear you and stuff like that. So totally loving that we're getting everything straightened out there. I really appreciate you guys saying that too, man. You guys do great, amazing work too. So
I'm bleeping that out.
And just to close out that thought, like, and you mentioned YouTube just on that last comment, is there anything out of that you specifically are going to be trying to put on YouTube and revitalizing that channel, or is that kind of after the Twitch?
I think I'm going to start turning my TGC rounds into YouTube videos. Before I was I didn't want my YouTube channel to have much of a focus on the virtual golf. But I've since have changed my mind. TGC is awesome. It's just awesome. It's competitive. There's no reason anybody that likes golf won't like watching TGC rounds. So I'm gonna start making YouTube videos out of TGC stuff. And again, more IRL golf. I want to do more challenges. One of my favorite YouTube videos I made was playing the Legends golf course with no driver. That was a ton of fun. I want to do more challenges. I want to do one without putter. I want to do some like Goodwill challenges. I want to do a Home Depot challenge where I'm playing golf with some gardeners. I have lots of ideas. Obviously, we gotta keep throwing money at shit. But we will figure it out. We'll figure it out.
What's the best shaft on a shovel you guys got here?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go up to Home Depot. Like, do you know what the loft of the shovel is? The loft of the hoe?
It's gonna play like a 7-iron.
Please record that interaction, please, because
for sure.
Daddy content
that's what I'm saying.
is like.
that's what I think is gonna be the best part of that YouTube video. Is all right. The beginning is gonna be me walking into Home Depot with a caddy and a caddy bib on, full golfed up, looking at shit like it's golf clubs. That's gonna be my favorite part.
I was gonna say that's your TikTok with the link to the YouTube video down there. Like, I'm already seeing the pieces link up and just.
I'm telling you, man, good content creators. We all think alike, bro. It screams. It makes itself sometimes.
So speaking of content, since you just recently got featured by PGA Tour 2K. For your insane albatross, what is that feeling like to see that?
Oh, well, first off, shout out to Red Fast Review crew for setting up the society that shot took place in. The golf course was awesome. You guys always make them challenging. The settings are competitive. So y'all do great job for that. Thank you. It's freaking crazy, man. It blew my freaking mind when I saw that. The shot blew my mind. If you saw the swing, if you saw the reaction, that's genuine as it can be. No cap on that reaction. That is just me freaking out. I don't even think I had an LB in 2K21. I played a lot, like 1,500 hours. So to get it in like the first week of me playing the new game, bro, I was mental.
And off those bounces too, and it came like back door, like side door. It was like, what is going on?
It's not done.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Oh man. So we've obviously talked a lot about golf. You play a lot of games, I've noticed. I've seen you stream RuneScape. I've seen you stream Call of Duty. What is your actual gaming history? Like, are you just have you always been a huge gamer on top of golf too?
Huge gamer, guys. I cannot. My gaming background starts with me watching my older brother play Final Fantasy games on Super Nintendo and PlayStation. I started playing the Super Nintendo, Mario, some baseball games. I don't even remember what they were called. Ken Griffey Jr. Slugfest, I think is actually what it was called.
Oh, great game.
Man.
That was a good one.
It was the game. That was it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, dude, nice.
On N64 is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was on Super Nintendo as well. Right before that. But I really got balls deep the Christmas that the PlayStation 2 came out. I'm
Gotcha.
a sentient being. I don't know. I must have been like 8. I started to have my own thoughts. I could read now, and we got Dragon Ball Z Budokai for Christmas with a PlayStation 2, and we didn't have a memory card, so me and my brother would stay up all night, all day, beat the game to unlock all the characters to fight each other, and we would do that on a repeat for days and
That's
days
too
and
funny.
days. And that's where it started. As I got a little bit older, I eventually found RuneScape in middle school. I still do play RuneScape. I love it. I love RPGs. Again, Final Fantasy, stuff like that. I'm super into the fantasy worlds. I love to escape to that stuff. Golf is stressful, and it's a great way to get out of my own head, is to just go to a new world. I love storytelling. So RuneScape was really great at that. But man, when I got to high school and I found World of Warcraft, all consuming. If I was not golfing, I was playing World of Warcraft. It's just that simple. There was no homework. I didn't do none of that. It was golf, Warcraft. And that pretty much took me all the way through college. World of Warcraft helped me get through college, I'll say that. Playing on the college golf team, man, it's hard to make a lot of friends, because if I was out, I was probably drunk, so I didn't really know what I was doing. And all my friends, all my real friends, even to this day, I still talk to all the people in my guild from World of Warcraft. They're gonna be at my wedding. They're making my ring, my engagement ring. Like, yeah, I love it. I love gaming so much. These days, I find myself playing a lot of different stuff. I like the new Call of Duty. It's the first Call of Duty I've liked since like Xbox 360 days.
It feels a lot different.
Doesn't
it? Feels real good. It's much slower and more strategic
it's a little
instead
more
of just chaos.
Yeah. I don't feel like the guns aren't just laser beams this time around either. Warzone feels good. The DMZ mode feels great. I was actually thinking about getting back into World of Warcraft. They just dropped the Dragonflight expansion. I got a lot of friends telling me that they're enjoying it right now. Even if I only play it for a couple of weeks, if I'm playing it for a couple of weeks with some friends, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, but I've always been a huge gamer, man. And they're always gonna be too. My girl knows I am. She knows I don't go to bars. I don't drink. I don't like to go out like that. I like to hang out, and I like to be playing games, whether it's competitively again or getting into a story. I really love it. For the most part, I'd rather play a video game than watch a movie or read a book. I'd probably rather do the video game version of it.
Fair to say at this point, is RuneScape still your go-to outside of golf? Would that be your favorite, or is it more like Call of Duty these days?
So, I would say probably still RuneScape. These days I'm able to play it on my phone, play it on a computer. It's a game you can always take at your own pace. They're always updating it. It's been like 20 years, man. There's always a new story. Their storytelling is always amazing. It's always easy for me to just pick up, do a little bit. It's one of those games where it's kind of unbeatable. Play at your own pace, do your own. It's so much of RuneScape is goal driven, which I find myself to be a very goal driven individual. It's one of those things where I can log in, I can set myself a little goal for the session, and when I accomplish it, I feel good and I don't mind logging off. And it's always had that kind of hold over me, and I think it always will.
Going back to TGCtours, what is the end game for Progressive Golf this year in 2K23?
So end game for virtual golf for Progressive Golf is world number 1. I want to be the best in the world. This year though, we have to keep our goals in perspective. I'm currently ranked 241. I want to be in the top 100 at the end of the year. I want to find myself out of Kinetic, either reaching plat or already on plat and learning how to make cuts.
It's nice now that plat doesn't have cuts. I can.
Oh yeah, plat doesn't even have cuts now.
It's great, but then it's a bloodbath of just constantly scoreboard watching of, well, if I did good the first 2 rounds, now I got to wait and wait for Lindsay to play his rounds at the last minute and see.
Yeah, I'll be one of those too. I like to play my rounds according to when the scoreboards update. So like I play my first round on Monday. So when I turn it in, all the scores are in on Monday. When I play on my round on Tuesday and I refresh the board, I can see all around too. I keep my schedule to that just because I like to be able to look at the leaderboard before I tee off.
Yep. Now, one thing that I guess my final question, are we in a better headspace than we were on our round 4? I think it was round 4 from this past week. Did I see a handful of strokes from a bunker out of you?
Yeah. I had a tough time with my controller this week.
Okay.
I have a cold still. The course in Connecticut was hard this week.
Sure was.
At that point, I had just, as I remember exactly where I was in the headspace too. I had just like lipped out, and I mean in 2K21 lipped out. You know how close that was to going in. I had just lipped out like 3 or 4 putts in a row, and this round 4, and it's like, oh shit, I'm already done. I just lost my promo mark already, so I kind of gave up there. And like you said, that's not how you play golf. I did get back in a better space. I finished that round strong. I didn't quit it. I posted under par. It was only 3 under.
Yep.
But
yeah, you did bounce back nicely from it, but
yeah, it's hard. Golf's hard, man.
Oh yeah.
And like mental practice is, and it's one of the things I like about the game is it's so real. It's even harder though, because in real life golf you have some time in between shots. Like whether you gotta walk there or take the cart there. In this game, bro, it's like, nope, here you go. Here you go. It's your turn again. Hit it.
Yep.
It was like, I'm still pissed. Like, I'm not ready to hit. But it's your turn and you're on stream and people are waiting for you to hit it, so hit.
And I think that's probably the worst place to be too. It's like you've made the cut. But you know you can't get promos.
Like, do lights out and then you press. And again, it's the same thing in real life golf. Like, you can't press like that. As soon as you do, you take a triple bogey from a greenside bunker.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Kyle Schulte, PGA Tour member of the Professional
PGA
Golfers Association of America. There we go.
Thank you.
And Twitch is one of Twitch's only PGA pros and content creators. Thank you very much for coming on. Be sure to follow him. We're going to post all of his links, his Twitch mainly, but also his YouTube. He's going to pump out some videos there. And who knows, maybe he'll get some more promos on those nice shorts and stuff on TikTok and Twitter and so all across the board. Make sure you go follow him, and most importantly, make sure you give him more content and help yourself out by submitting your swing video into his Discord. You're only gonna enjoy and be a better player for it.
Man, thank you guys so much for having me.
Glad to have you back.
How much I love you.
Yeah,
I've always loved the content. Man, he's some of the first channels I was watching when I got into this. Man, Breadfast Review, when I was content creator of the week, y'all put me on. Thank you. And thank you so much for having me here too, man. I love what you guys do. I'm always down to be a part of it. If you ever need anything, hit me up. And that goes for everybody in the audience too. If you ever need anything, I'm super accessible. You can find me on Twitch, find me in my Discord. I'm always around. Thank you again, man.
Hell yeah. Keep up the good work.